Needs to free up and be comfortable going and not just barely get there and want to come back. Lope like you got the mail to deliver. That's horses have to learn to run, pack and wait. They might run through the pasture, and horses that just barely get into a lope and they rode that way for an extended period. You try to get them to run, it's like the brakes on. They only go to that speed. And then they might get scared when they get out of that speed. So, and they can lope pretty fast, but when we as kids, we'd race our horses. Once we a lot of them we didn't have control of, but we raced them anyway. I mean, sooner or later, they'll slow down. But out in this country, so what? Head them toward Bruno. Somewhere in the next 10 miles, they'll slow down. but they have to kind of learn. It's one thing to get off your legs and get going, but to really run like you're in the Kentucky Derby, they don't all do that without getting scared. So to get them to get up there and really run like you're going to head a cow off, that's a project in itself. Not that it's hard to teach or anything, or hard to get them to do, but it's a project in itself. So, and not that they're in a hurry to do that, but in my world, if you got to get ahead of the horses that are going the wrong way, it's nice to be able to open them up and they're not scared and you have a little control. It's not going to be as good a control. I mean, that's just true of anything. They feel pretty good in the walk. You get in a trot, they're not quite as refined. The faster you go, the less feel you're going to have. It doesn't need to be about speed. It just needs to be about being comfortable in that lope. Once they're comfortable in that lope, you can kick them up a notch. And that's kind of what I try to do, even with the racehorses I worked with. We'd get like a month or 30 rides on them or so, and then if you don't kind of bring them up with some confidence, a lot of them will run off. And the guys with size 3 hats, they that's what they get paid for. They're going round and around the track. Most of them aren't too worried about a horse running off, because it's kind of like pointing them toward Bruno, and if they run off, so what? But it's nice to be able to take them up, bring them back down. And I kind of think of it like there's about 4 different levels from the lope to the run. And I want to get them comfortable going up there and bring them back down. Go up another notch tomorrow and bring them back down. One time I went to Calumet, and I wanted to get on all these horses myself and do that. And so my riders, however many I had, 6 or 8 or whatever riders, we had, I don't remember the exact details, but I'm going to say we had over 75 head of horses. And I got on every one of them and loped them around a mile track. They took them around a couple times. I got on them, loped them around a pretty good clip, a half mile, and then run them a mile, then slowed them down a half mile, and hand them back to them, and then they would make a slow trot, and then go get another one and bring them back. So do the math. I rode 150 miles, and it was only in about 4 hours. Afterwards, I got to doing the math and thinking about that. I thought, that's kind of an interesting feat. But, yeah, I mean, they was ready to run when I got on them. There wasn't any loosening them up. And I didn't have to cool them down. It was just like Pony Express, yeah.